Well, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new week and a brand new series of planets through nakshatras. And today we are going to be covering Rahu through nakshatra. And today Rahu is going to be entering the nakshatra of Revati. Because as you know, I was going to start from Rahu from Ashwani nakshatra. It didn't really make sense because of the fact Rahu and Ketu are moving backwards. They're not retrograde, they're moving backwards because they go against the social norms of society. They go against the rules that are laid out by Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. This is why they're also known as malevolent energy. They're trying to disturb the process of evolution that Shiva has created, Vishnu has created for us, or Shiva has created, or Brahma has created for us, and Vishnu's trying to preserve it. Shiva is going to ultimately destroy it. So actually, Shiva doesn't really care about Rahu and Ketu as much. He's like, dude, I'm going to destroy this. I'm going to destroy this bitch one day. So do whatever you want. But the thing is, Rahu is our life in this three-dimensional world, right? Rahu is our mission in this life, things that we are here to learn, things that we are here to become expert of, because Ketu was already done. Okay, so what's happening is this. Realize that Ketu is something that we have experienced in the past. So when Rahu enters the very last nakshatra of Revati, this means that our soul had already received enlightenment in a certain life, in a certain universe, and we're here to experience it again. Because remember, when universe is destroyed and brought back again, the process starts again. So now, Rahu, the demon, has stepped into the world of illusion. This is why Revati Nakshatra is in the sign of Pisces, which is what? The sign of abstract imagination. The sign of dream. You're dreaming. You're using your imagination. You're using your, abstract sixth senses to understand this world. This is why this world is an illusion. This is why this world is Maya. Why Maya? Because Rahu stepped into here. We are in the age of Rahu, Kali Yuga. So when Rahu stepped into Revati Nakshatra, this Kali Yuga began. This illusion began. This is why Rahu is illusion. Rahu makes us feel like we're bigger than ourselves. We are our ego. We are bigger than ego. We are bigger than everybody else's ego. And the reason why Rahu is known as a demon, Rakshas, is not because he's literally a Rakshas. Yes, he is, but mainly it shows our demonic nature in this three-dimensional world. What is our demonic nature? Money, cars, women, men, relationships, dogma, religion. All of these things that we have created and brought trouble onto ourselves, that's what Rahu represents. Rahu gives you that illusion that having that fancy car is fulfilling your desires. Having the most beautiful wife is fulfilling that desires. Where that true happiness comes, where you learn something, where you walk in nature, where the wife you marry may not be the most prettiest, but the most dedicated, intelligent, and spiritual person. That's what we should be going towards, but Rahu brings that illusion. So now, Rahu is in the sign of Pisces and nakshatra of Revati. Revati is pretty much the nakshatra that represents the sign of Pisces. First of all, Revati is the deepest water. It is the deepest water of spirituality. Why? Because Pisces is ocean. Spirituality is the ocean. Ocean of spirituality. And so Revati represents this area of our life that we truly have to understand as the first thing being a human being is our spiritual senses. But why do our spiritual senses usually gets lost into abstract things, into other things? Instead of really going towards spirituality, we go towards art and painting and sculpting and writing and music, aerospace, aircraft carriers. All of these things are Revati Nakshatra. But the true essence of Revati is Satvik, 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 meaning this is the most purest Nakshatra. It is the purest water. But now Rahu comes into play. Imagine a pure water, and then you have this demon just come into it. So what happens? Rahu in Revati Nakshatra, first of all, feels a bit confused. Where I am? Why am I here? What is my goal in this life? So the individual with the Rahu in Pisces sign and Revati Nakshatra will always find it hard to understand their spiritual senses and to understand the world through a creative eye. But remember, Rahu is your mission. Rahu is your ability to understand this world through experience. So through experience, this person gradually understands their creative side. Because remember, Ketu would be in the sign of Virgo, right? Where you already have done the manual work in the past life. You've already systemized things in your life analytically. But now you are here to use those experiences of past life of being so analytical and being very technical, through which now you're going to have to express yourself creatively. Now you're going to have to understand this world in an abstract way, and through which you're going to experience your spiritual enlightenment. But the problem is this: Rahu does not want to go towards moksha. Rahu doesn't want to express itself through attaining enlightenment, because this is a nakshatra of moksha. So Rahu will make the person get lost towards things which are other side of Revati Nakshatra, which are more creative things. You will also see people who go towards fields of aerospace and this. You will see people who go towards wanting to be pilots, wanting to go towards sea exploration. They love to travel. They love to explore. And they feel like by seeing everything on this planet, exploring, they're really enhancing their spiritual senses, while those senses are far, far away. Because Rahu just entered Pisces. It's not Ketu in the Revati Nakshatra. It is Rahu in Revati Nakshatra, meaning you are developing your senses to understand this world. So what happens with this, they take long time to really understand that, okay, I'm here in this world and I'm settled. And now my life begins, and now I have to do things. Because they become very, very independent, especially if this Rahu in Revati Nakshatra is in the ascendant. I mean, this person is extremely independent, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend. The moment you try to hold them back, they disappear. They'll run away from that situation. So freedom becomes extremely important with Rahu and Revati Nakshatra. But mainly, when it comes to expressing yourself through your creative imagination, this is where Rahu becomes active. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, you're an IT professional, you're an accountant. Part of your mission in this life is to experience the world through your abstract imagination and to understand spirituality, the ocean of spirituality. Because remember, Revati is a symbolism of fish, just like the sign of Pisces. So it shows you're going to have to go deep into the water to really understand the ocean, the truth that is beneath the surface. And this is where you'll see people who have great inclination of becoming magicians. Somebody who wants to show the meaning of Revati Nakshatra through their experience and to the world. Meaning this is all an illusion, this is all fake, and I can manipulate the situation the way I want. That's what this person does. This is why a magician can manipulate the situation any way they want. They can make you feel like they're gods. They can make you feel like that they have some crazy special powers. While in reality, the cunning nature of Rahu has disturbed the purity of Pisces, but mainly the purity of Revati Nakshatra. So what happens is, in a way, they can become quite manipulative and cunning. They can be like, through their ability to con you, they will try to get their material things in this life. And that's the process of man eating that apple. They commit the ultimate sin of taking advantage of things in front of them. But again, you also have to notice the placement of Mercury, because Mercury rules this nakshatra of Revati. Why does Mercury rules this nakshatra? Mercury, I thought, is a flamboyant prince, and he just wants to have fun, and he just wants to announce things and pass on messages. But you forget the most important logic of Mercury, which is change. Mercury represents change of seasons. This is why it rules the dual sign of Gemini and Virgo. Seasons change whenever that sign of Gemini and Virgo are activated. Mercury represents a change of daylight to twilight. The daylight time, the morning, and the twilight time is controlled by Mercury. So what's happening? The world of true spiritual bliss, Tap Yug, Satyug, is now being changed into this 3D dimensional world of our plane, of Kali Yuga, of the age of the lost man, not the enlightened man, the lost man. So Mercury, so Vishnu, Brahma, whoever did this, said, Mercury, it's your job now to bring in this change. So Mercury is like, okay, I'll bring in this change of new age. So because it changed, Mercury controls this nakshatra. And this is the nakshatra where Mercury's logic is no longer there. Mercury now represents his other side, which is the side of observing things, what's going on. See, Pisces is all about observing, because what makes you a great artist or a great creative person? You observe things. So you can store it in your memory. So when you're writing something, you're singing about something, you're playing a piano, those situations subconsciously make you express yourself creatively. So mission with this Rahu and Revati Nakshatra is that the loss that you feel in life, that what the hell's going on, it's not going to happen through doing creative things or playing music. It is really through finding and disciplining yourself to really understand the higher spiritual octane, which is to read, let's say, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Bible, whatever you believe in. But actually, those are more of religious things. The spiritual bliss will come through when you find that pure person, that pure guru, through which you can kind of break that illusion and really understand that, okay, I'm in this water, I'm in this world that is three-dimensional, and I've realized it. Most of the time, these people won't realize that. Most of the time, they will ignore the part of spiritual life, and they will be more into the life of holistic, the life of creativity, or even being an addict and an addiction. Rahu can give great interest towards addiction, LSD, whatever that makes you hallucinate even more than what you already are. But you will also see people who are connected to the other side, like psychics and tarots and holistic healers and energy healers. Because the thing is, Mercury has stepped in to take control of this nakshatra. But because this is the very last nakshatra, okay, these people feel like that they're in the middle of life and death, moksha and the real material world. So at one point, they are in the material world. But on the other side, they have the ability to really understand that other side. It's like they're looking down at the edge. For all you flat earth people who love the flat earth theory, just imagine you're on the Revati Nakshatra wall and then you're looking down. And so Rahu here although it's a demon, it's still trying to figure it out. How am I going to control these things? So Rahu has the ability to look down and on the other side and kind of play this game. So that is Rahu in Revati Nakshatra, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Rahu is placed and all the other planets in Nakshatras, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.